Well, the days of the Del Mar meet are winding down. So for our final edition of Racing Connoisseurs, we came to the heart of Del Mar, just walking distance from the beach. We're at Sabika Restaurant. We have a very special guest inside. Well, the guy to my right needs absolutely no introduction. Hands down, one of the most popular guys in horse racing, jockey Victor Espinoza, joining us for our final edition of Racing Connoisseurs. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
How good does this food look, right?
It looks great.
Sabika.
It looks really yummy.
Like the delicious heirloom tomatoes and ahi tuna. Okay, we'll get into that. But we saved you for last. You had an incredible Del Mar meet, but I want to take it way back. How did you even get into racing? I mean, obviously, we know where you are today. Where did it all begin?
It all began because I want to be, like, basically, I'm just trying to survive. And as a young, age that I not really into really like school, especially high school. That was kind of my nightmare. I only want to go there just to have fun and play, but when it comes to study, I was not so great. So I kind of like take, in the way I thought that I want to take the easy way, to make a living, but I find out that was not easy at all. I was really like challenged and hard, and there was times that I want to just quit. I want to go back to school, but when I already lose, and I was already behind 1 year, I was like, man, I don't want to go back again. I'm already in behind. I'll be like the oldest guy in that class. Like, no. Then I just continue to go day by day. I thought I was going to just be as a jockey for like a couple years, and there it goes. Next thing I know, it's just like somebody like suck you into the races, and never want to go away.
Do you remember the first race you ever won?
Yes, it was crazy because like I ran so much. I trained so hard for my first race, and I thought that I was like in excellent shape, And there he goes. I'm in the first race. I walk into the gate. My biggest fear, in the gate, all right? And then I just walk in the gate, and I'm like, just look straight to the, forward. I don't even look at the other jockeys next to me. But the trainer, he has two horses, and he told me, he's like, look, the other horse is gonna go to the lead, and you're gonna sit in behind the other horse. So don't move until you see the other jockey start riding, then you start riding, and then you go. And to them, you stay still. I said, okay.
Did you follow the instructions?
Yeah, but let me tell you, when I break out of the gate, I feel like I was like 200 miles an hour in there. I mean, wind blew it over my ears like never see before. I feel like closing my eyes and just don't even think about it. Don't even look forward. So anyway, so he goes to the 3As, and then I was following the other horse. I was probably 2 lengths in behind him, and then I was following him. And when I see the jockey start riding, I was like, oh, okay.
That's my cue.
So then I had to go. So then anyway, so I come back and win the race by maybe 2 lengths.
Your very first race,
My
you
very
won?
first, yeah.
Ever,
Yeah.
First
race
time in
ever.
that starting gate, you won.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yes, and then I thought I was like, well, after the race, I was like, wow. I was in the winner's circle, I'm taking a picture, like all nice that I was
this is easy.
like, wow,
Big
this
deal.
is so easy. Oh my gosh, it's like, I want to be an excellent jockey, And so right at the same time when I jump off the horse, my gosh, I can't even like feel my legs, I almost fell off the horse. I mean, I almost fell off, It's like, hey, okay. It's like, no, can you just hold me a little bit because my legs can't carry me.
Somebody carried me back to the doc's room.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was like really, really, really tired, and it was just, I was shocked because I thought I was in a great, in a great shape.
Well, let's fast forward. Kentucky Derby, 4 Emblem. What was that experience like for you?
I was shocked in the way.
Really?
Yeah, it was shocked in the way they're everything come very like soon, as unexpectedly, Because by that time I used to ride all the horses for the Thoroughbred course, and I had one horse that I thought it was going to be my Kentucky Derby horse, and the last race he failed. I mean, he got hurt, and in the day I don't have any horse for the Derby. So the Prince bought that horse for Emblem, And she told me, it's like, now you have a horse for the Derby. I bought this horse for you to ride in the Derby. It's like, all right. So I look at it, the board is like 40 to 1. I was like, great. So that's why you put me on, right? But anyways, I flew to Kentucky, and I remember the night before, I never looked the form, never before. So
This is something I know about you.
yeah, so I never really, but that time I was just like, curious, what kind of horse I have for the Derby,
Right.
right? So I went and get the form, and I went to my hotel and I was reading, and I, for some reason, I see the speed buyer, it was like 108. And the closest one, it was Come Home, that horse that was the favor, and the speed buyer was only like 98.
Big difference.
Big difference, right? Oh no, he was on a different track, but in my mind it was like, wow, it's not just a little bit, it's a big difference.
Standout.
Yeah, and I thought, I was like, wow. So then in a minute I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna think about it because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to sleep. So then I forget about that, and the next morning I wake up and I was so excited. It's like, man, if this horse run the way, the form says, then I think I
should run
have a
huge.
good chance, yeah. And I never see that horse. I went to see them the same day in the morning, and Buffer, I went to the barn and Buffer, he's like, hey, this is your horse. I look at him in the stall, and the stall, they look different, right? I see this black, tiny, skinny, narrow horse. I was like, this is my Derby? It's like, oh my gosh, like.
Now you're second
Yeah,
guessing
right.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, when it comes to the race, it was fun. I had no clue how this horse is gonna run. No idea. Just go in there and just ride it.
What a fun surprise.
It was just fun. I mean, he was, honestly, that horse, that he was acting up or like not very good in the post parade. And the gate, oh my gosh, it was like insane in there. And then I was like, okay, I just take and hold. I hold the mains and it's like, whatever happens, happens, you know what I mean? And like 2 jumps, he come out of the gate like a rocket. And I looked to the outside, I was number 5. I looked to the outside and I'm like in front, everyone.
Where's everybody?
Yeah, I was like, where's everybody? He's like, all right. So I let her run into the first turn and I kind of slowed him down. Really, really strong horse. I never rode it before, but that was very strong. And when you turn him for home, I just dropped the reins. Nobody was coming, and I just dropped the reins. And that horse, I mean, he just dropped to the ground. That was the best feeling I ever had in my entire career, because I never rode a horse like him. I mean, I rode a lot of good horses, but not like in the Kentucky Derby.
At that point in time, though, because we've got some other horses that some would say, wow, so would your emblem surpass, say, Chrome or American Pharaoh? Before we get to that, you had some time in between War Emblem and California Chrome. Did you consider retirement in between that time?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I always, during my career, I'm like pretty much steady jockey. You always staying in the same level. Not too high, not too low. It's just the same. There was one of probably the great years in Del Mar. By the way, in Del Mar, I always did good. I think in 2006, I went pretty much every race in here. And after that, everything go the other way around. 2008, that was really the depressing year for me. It was the days that I just don't want to do it no more. Just wake up and I will go to the track because basically it's like a routine. And I just don't feel it. It's like deep inside, I don't want to be on the track. I ride the horses. I thought I would ride it good. I thought I would do it like, an effort. I'd put an effort to win. But a deeper inside is like, whatever. If I win, win. If not, then I really don't
You
care.
lost the passion.
I did. And I just pretty much, I don't want to communicate with anyone. And probably I even less interested to talk to anyone in race in anyways. And I thought that I was gonna stop. I thought that my career is gonna be ended. That was it. In 2009, this year, 2008, 2009, and for 2 years, basically, I don't want to do it. And I think it's all like, it has to come from your heart. You have to feel in it. if you don't feel in it, no matter how much effort you put into that, things gonna go wrong.
Right.
You know, it's just not gonna happen. And then there was one day that I just wake up in the morning. I never forget that time. I don't know why, but I wake up one morning, I was like thinking about it. It's like, you know what? I don't kind of end my career like this. I'm like completely in the ground, right? I probably lost communication with everyone. Everyone probably lost my number. Probably I lost everyone's phone number, right? So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna make a change. Completely, I feel it in my heart that, you know, I did it before, and I'm gonna do it again. And I want to come back better than before, just like that overnight. So I wake up and I start working out. I changed my agent. I changed pretty much everything in my life, the way I think, my attitude, pretty much everything. New person.
First Triple Crown in 37 years. You had contemplated retirement, but then you come back and you have California Chrome, who wins the Kentucky Derby and Preakness, and then you get American Pharoah. What is one moment out of that entire season and that Triple Crown run that you remember most?
Oh, obviously the winning the Triple Crown, right? How can I forget that? But the most probably memory that I will never forget is just winning the Kentucky Derby, because that was the first step for the Triple Crown. I never forget when I crossed that wire in the Kentucky Derby. I was the most happy guy pretty much on earth, because I know that was it. That's gonna be my time to win in the Triple Crown after that race.
You knew that after the Kentucky Derby that he was
Yep.
going to go all the way.
It's gonna go all the way.
Why? What was it about him?
It was just the way this horse, he was going to the Triple Crown, and the way he win the Kentucky Derby, that was just different than every other horse that I rode in the Derby.
Afterwards, you said, "I'm the luckiest Mexican alive." You're very quotable.
That's true, because look, how many times that just, you know, happened to win the Triple Crown,
Not often.
right? 37
Not
years,
often
we're gonna
at
make
all.
history, you know? So that's why I thought I was the luckiest guy, the luckiest Mexican ever.
His book closes, California Chrome's reopens. You win the Dubai World Cup. You just won the TVG Pacific Classic. I know you were asked this afterwards, but how do you compare these two incredible animals? Can we even?
No, it's hard. Even for me, I mean, I know which one it will be better, but as of right now, I'm not gonna say anything. Hopefully someday when I stop riding, I will say which one it will be the best. Both horses, they're incredible, because obviously I rode it, both of them, and California Chrome, you know, it's my boy. I will never forget him, because, you know, he really turned my career around and motivate myself to be a better rider, to be smarter, and do a lot for the racing history, for the sport. And then there he goes, become, you know, American Pharoah. You know, we make history, back to back. You know, win pretty much all the Triple Crowns except one that I kind of failed in that one with California Chrome. But you know what? I learned a lot, and that's why I will never forget California Chrome, because with California Chrome, I'm like here. You know, I'm the highest, and then now like the lowest and the Triple Crown. But we come back, and he run better than before. You know, like you say, he went to Dubai 2 years in a row. The first year won second, and this year's win, and then he come back and win again, and then, you know, smoke everyone in the Pacific Classic.
I feel like you're insinuating that you would pick California Chrome over American Pharoah. If they were both in a
I
race.
can't really, like, you know, tell you which one I pick, because I will never have that option.
You're lucky.
Right?
You're lucky you never had that one.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an incredible few years for you, and I can't wait to see what California Chrome, Stellar Wind, all of your horses go on to do. I need your help with this weekend, though, okay? You're riding Morganite in the Grade 1 Del Mar debutante. What were your thoughts on her after her maiden-breaking win?
I thought he ran the way I expect her, because I know she was good, and those races kind of a little complicated, because a lot of the horses are second start,
Right.
And the young fillies, they don't know what's gonna happen for the next race. Honest opinion, I think is pretty much wide open in there. So anyone that can win, and I hope it's me, right?
Of course. Do you think that we're going to see her best if she goes around 2 turns, or she's talented enough to get the job done on Saturday?
I hope so. I mean, she looks good actually, but I think it's gonna go, like you said, longer. For me, as of right now, I really, not looking forward just one race early. I was looking for a long run, I was looking for the future. It's like hopefully that she ran great, regardless of whether she ran, as long as she ran good, and she can come back, and win all the big races down the road. I mean, they're all like pretty much even. There's really challenged the field and the young fillies. But I hope she's better than all of them. I always have to think about it. And every horse that I ride, every horse that I ride, I think he's the best.
As you should. You're riding Electrum in the John C. Mabie. She's the defending champion. She was 3rd most recently. Do you give her any excuses that day?
A little bit.
How so?
I could have rode it better. Yeah, I kind of learned from my mistakes. Yeah. So hopefully this time I will ride her better.
Is she a tough filly to ride?
No, she's pretty cool.
Look forward to big effort in the John C. Mabie, maybe defending champion. Lastly, Lucky Bryan in the Del Mar Derby. He ran huge last time out in the La Jolla Handicap. Do you see him just consistently moving forward with each race?
Yes, he's been running excellent in Del Mar. So I think he likes it. So I am excited for him, and hopefully he can run a big race again.
With a big field like that, what becomes the most important part? About 14 horses, I think, going in.
Actually, it's better for that.
Really?
I like it when there's a lot of horses in the race, because everyone worried by their own horse. And it was set up basically for the best horse to win the race.
Allows you to be tactical, which I have to say, you have made some of the best moves in these races, especially at Del Mar, that I know we're not going to forget about. Floating everyone out in the TVG Pacific Classic. We all remember that, don't we?
Yeah, sometimes I had to, do what I had to do to, like, basically win the race. And pretty much sometimes I had to use things that I learned around my career in some races, like the Pacific Classic, or in other races that I need to. Like I say, I never studied the racing form, but pretty much I think in a second. And in a second, I make my own decisions, and I hope for the best. And I'm not afraid to make it, okay? If it happens, if it works, fine. If it not, then I would probably look really bad.
Well, it's been working out thus far. One race you haven't won that you want to win.
I want to win every race. Hey, the Pegasus.
The Pegasus World Cup coming up at Gulfstream Park. California Chrome has a spot in the gate, and wouldn't that be epic?
That's
epic
right.
is the right word to use.
Absolutely.
And lastly, for all of the inquiring minds, is Victor Espinoza single?
As of right now, yes.
As of right now, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Victor, thank you so much for joining me. I know our viewers are going to love just hearing how you got into the business, and we're so glad that you didn't retire back then, because you brought forth some historical moments.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Well, that was
All right.
the
Thank you, guys.
final edition of Racing Connoisseurs here at Topeka, the heart of Del Mar, off of 15th Street, and I'm with the most popular guy in racing, Victor Espinoza.
Hello?
Busy guy.